Okay, so as I said, good morning to everybody. My name is Laura Bertolini, and I am International Grant and Project Officer at the Catalan Institute for Water Research in Girona, Spain. So here in the program, the title of my presentation is How and Where to Identify a Call for Proposal. But at the end, I thought about the topic, and I thought maybe it might be more useful to extend a little bit the focus and summarize the title of my presentation in how to apply for a call for proposal. So let's see if I can. I cannot go forward with my slides.
Let's see.
Okay, that's it. Right. So maybe it's a little bit slow. So as I said, the title of my proposal, on my presentation, sorry, will be how to apply for a call for proposal. So basically, we can summarize the whole process in few fundamental steps that in a perfect, ideal world should be taken in the sequence that I'm going to show you now. So first of all, the first step is to find a suitable call topic for your research proposal. And then from this step, the progression actually should go one step back, two step that I called step 0. So even before starting to think about a possible call, researchers should have clear in their mind what their research idea and goals are. So your project idea is a starting point in your proposal journey, not the call. And as I said, this is what should happen in a perfect ideal world, but unfortunately, many times this is not the case. And step 1 comes before step 0, which means researchers first have a look at what is available out there, what opportunities they might apply for, or they receive an invitation from colleagues, from friends to participate in a proposal. And then they push and squeeze and do anything they can do to make their idea fit the call, which is not always a good idea, and we will see why. So then we have step 2, be sure the call, the topic fits your idea and not the other way around, as I said. And then we have step 3, define what you need, which means basically define what resources you need to carry out your proposal. So we are talking here about personnel and material, etc., but also refers to partners, what kind of partners you might need to complete your research. And then we have step 4, of course, you have to start to write your proposal and convince the evaluators. So during my presentation, I will touch each of these steps and try to deliver the big picture, the structure you should have in mind when you apply for a call. I will just postpone description of step 3 to my later presentation when I will talk more in detail about partners and consortium. So let's go to step 0, define your idea and what you want to achieve. So your goal in this first step that I have called 0, like the Big Bang step, the beginning of everything, is to understand what your idea is and what you want to achieve, of course. So here I just would like to show you some of the questions you should ask yourself at this stage. For example, what is your research question? What kind of idea you have in your head? What are the challenges out there? What are the solutions? Do you know what other researchers have already done in that field? Do you know the state of the art? And of course, what is your plus? What do you propose to fill the gap, you know, to go beyond the state of the art? Why do you do that? Why should anyone bother about your research? Who wants the result? This is related, of course, with the impact. And we will see during my presentation that research must be embedded in the real world. Research must be useful, must be for someone. Someone should use the result of your research. Research for the sake of research is not funded anymore, at least not at the European level. So next question, as I said, why are you doing it? And here maybe we enter a more personal kind of level. So you have to ask yourself, what do you want? What is your motivation? Why do you do that? What is your ambition? What do you want to get? What do you want to achieve for research, society, or yourself? And then we have another set of questions, more practical. Who will do the work? Yourself? Will you be the only one that can achieve the results, or do you need partners? How would the work be done? What is the structure, the implementation of the work? Who can give the money? So here in my presentation, I will exclusively talk about public funding, and especially Horizon Europe, which is the biggest funding program in Europe for research and innovation. But there are other funders, there are other sponsors. There can be industries, there can be private foundation, charities, etc. So you have to ask yourself who can be your funder and adjust your proposal consequently. What are the costs? So you have to define the budget and what the cost will be. So basically, all these questions should be write down on a piece of paper, and this will constitute what has been called by many experts the one-page proposal. The map you need in order to take all the other steps, the map that can guide you throughout the preparation of your proposal. The scheme that I have here has been created by a veteran in the field of successful proposal presentation. His name is Sean McCarthy from Hyperion, Dublin, Ireland. And he says that if you can't answer convincingly in 10 minutes all these questions, you should rethink about your project idea. There is a nice video that lasts 15 minutes where it talks about this one-page proposal. It is in YouTube. You have the link here. So if you want to know more about this, you can go and watch the video. Right, find a suitable call for proposal. So let's say you have a wonderful one-page proposal and you are ready to look for a suitable call. What comes next? Well, you have to browse the websites that offers calls for proposal, that offers, let's say, information about calls for proposal. They have search engine to look for available calls. And of course, the first one is the participant portal, which is the official website of the European Commission. But there are other platforms. For example, Up to Europe is a good platform. Euraxis, Research Professional, you have to pay for this one. You have to register, and they offer a very good service, but of course, against payment. And Eurodex Opportunity Finder is a good website, especially if you are looking for individual grants and especially scholarship and fellowship. So it's more for young researchers. So here I've copied some of the screenshots from the participant portal, which is the, as I said, the official website of the European Commission. And so here you have a search engine. You can select a different field. But at the beginning, I would recommend to start with a very general query, because Horizon Europe logic sometimes is a bit weird, and especially with topics that are interdisciplinary and cut across many different challenges. You might find calls in the place where they're not supposed to be. So, for example, you might find a call on climate change and environment under the cluster health, because it's related with disease prevention and well-being. Or, for example, I remember one call that was for agriculture, related to spraying and irrigation in agriculture. And it was under space because it asked to use a global navigation satellite system for positioning the tool for spraying and irrigation. So, I mean, it's very complicated. So at the beginning, you should just type your keyword and just leave all the field open. And then if you have too many results, you can, of course, refine your search. Also, the keyword that you choose for your search should be general, but at the same time focused enough to allow comprehensive but also focused result. So, and once you have a list of results, of course, you have to skim the list to find confirming or excluding criteria, and finally concentrate on the topic that most suits your research idea. Right, so before going to see how to read a topic in detail and understand what the funder wants, I just would like to see what a call for proposal means, because sometimes, you don't think about that, but I think it's important to see a little bit the definition. So what is a call for proposal? It's an open invitation for funding based on specific defined criteria to produce an important positive impact on society. This is a very short version, short definition. But here you already have two important pieces of information. First of all, is public, which means everybody can participate. And you compete against other extremely good proposals. And the standards of excellence, especially in Horizon Europe recently, are really very high. Sometimes to be selected or not is a matter of very subtle differences, partialities, comprehension or miscomprehension. That's why it's very important that you write carefully your proposal. And I know that many researchers think that the evaluative process is like a lottery, that what happens depends entirely on luck or God or demons, whatever. But this is not true. There is a logic beyond the whole process. There is method in the madness, as they say. And we are here to try to understand and make this logic play in your favor, of course. So the second important information is that there are specific defined criteria for the call. So this criteria comes directly from European Union political agenda, and you either stick to this criteria and give the funders what they want, or you are out. So basically, Horizon Europe is a political instrument of the European Union Commission, through which the European Commission implements its political strategic objectives for European society and European markets. As I said, basic research is not funded anymore, not at the European level. So, and the evaluators have a set of defined criteria and requirements that comes from this political guidance, and they are asked to find proposals that comply with these criteria. But the good news is that everything is very transparent. So all the information that you need to submit a successful proposal are available. There's nothing kept secret or hidden. It's very transparent. So the bad news, maybe for you, I don't know, maybe not, is that you have to read them very carefully and try to understand them. Right. So how to read a topic. So as we said, the topic comes from political agenda of the European Commission. So here I try to summarize the structure of this political strategy. So here you have, first of all, the legal basis, which covers the whole duration of Horizon Europe. Now I'm talking exclusively about Horizon Europe. So the legal basis that covers the whole duration of Horizon Europe. Then we have the strategic plan, which is renewed every 3 years. And then the work program. The work program is where the topics, the course and the topics are published and is renewed every 2 years. So here you can see some parts circled in red. And these are the parts that you should read in order to understand what the funder wants. So we have the key strategic orientation and expected impacts. We are in the strategic plan. And the destination, and then we will see the other parts. Fortunately, the key strategic orientation and expected impacts are summarized in the destination under the work program. So you don't have to read 200 pages strategic plan to find out what the expected impact for the Commission should be. What you should really read, calls, of course, the topic, the expected impact. So what you should really concentrate on is the work program. And in the work program, apart from these parts that we have already seen, destination that summarize key strategic orientation, expected impact, the course, the topic, expected outcomes, there are other parts that are important, and we will see all of them. So the specific condition of the call, scope and action, and expected result. So here, what I did is try to show you the work program and how to browse through it. So the work program here is the climate, energy, and mobility cluster. So, and here you have the table of content. So let's say that our call, for example, is this one, the one that I've circled in red. Modeling for local resilience. Maybe you don't read very well. So, well, anyway, most of the researchers, probably 80% of the research would go directly to page 41 and read the topic, which is good because, I mean, it's what you have to do as well. So under the topic, we have the specific condition, which basically says if there are some special condition that goes beyond what is the standard given by the European Commission. For example, if you have to involve different partners, non-European partners, or the budget, etc. Then you have the expected outcomes, right? And then you have the scope, okay? This is not sufficient. You also have to read the call, and under the call, you have information about the budget, and as I said, the destination, which basically is the introduction to all the calls that go under the destination. And here you can see under the destination, you have the key strategic orientation and the expected impact. This is the work program, but recently I've seen that they've started to write the destination also in the website. So if you go to the website, well, here I can go, but I mean, it's not necessary. So if you go to the participant portal and you go to the code you are, the topic you are interested in, so you have the topic description, but also have the destination. And if you scroll down, you have the destination also on the website. The idea, once you have read what we have seen right now, and especially the part that have cycled, so the destination part, which is about the expected impact and expected outcomes, the idea is that you have to ensure that your proposal matches perfectly the requirement of the core topic. In fact, this is a little bit exaggerated, but I mean, just to understand, for you to understand, it would be better if the project proposal matches 110% with all the requirements, right? And when I talk about the requirement, I especially talk about the key strategic orientation that is under the destination, the expected impact, and the specific condition and the expected outcomes. Okay, so as we said, it should be a perfect match. Okay, that is. So this perfect match should be especially with the specific condition, the expected outcomes under the topic, the key strategic orientation, and expected impact under destination. Right, so here there is a question mark. Why? Well, I want you to read this when it will appear. This quote doesn't go forward, so I'm trying to, let's see. Okay, now I want you to read this quote. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world. and all there ever would be to know and understand. This is a quotation by Albert Einstein. So, and the question for you is, if you have to respond to politician requests, if all what you have to do is to match the core requirements and give the funders what they want, what does your creativity fit? What does your innovative thinking, your groundbreaking visionary idea? Well, basically, it is in the research methodology, in the implementation process, and in the outputs. The outputs are the results, what you have at the end of your proposal. So the what is defined, the final midterm impact and long-term impact, but the how is up to you. And here is where you have to go beyond the state of the art and demonstrate that your proposal is innovative, is groundbreaking, and you really give something new to science and society. And you can find the instruction about how to write this part, which is, well, the description of this part is under scope and action. We're going to go back to our topic to see it better. And under the scope, there are some instructions, but they are very general, right? So the scope set up the challenge, basically, the problem you should contribute to solve. And it might set up a list of action, but the description is very general and expectations are minimal. So this means that you can really give your solution, give your way to solve the problem, which is the one that is the big interest for the European Commission, and produce the expected outcomes and expected impact. So if we go back, maybe we can go back just a second to the scope of the action. So just to make you see better. So just like this. Okay. So here you can see that we have the specific condition and expected outcomes. So expected outcomes, we will see later what means expected outcomes. But basically, you have here a list of expected income and outcomes, and the scope, if you read the scope, is very general. So here, for example, we have the strategy stressing the need to increase local resilience, so you have to comply. So it's very general. And as for the project results are not defined. So if you see here, the only thing that they say about project result is that they are expected to contribute to the following expected outcomes. So what is defined are the expected outcomes, not the expected results. And now we're going to see a little bit the terminology, because I know that sometimes might be a little bit confusing. So to have it clear what it means, expected outcomes, outputs, etc. Right. So here we have a scheme where you can see clearly the whole component of the proposal. So we have the inputs which are necessary to carry out the project, project activities, of course, outputs and result. So these are what should be part of the project. So the project ends with your research outputs or result, right? After that, we have the outcomes. And why do we have the outcomes? Because they are lead users that intervene. So lead users lead users basically are the ones that should process the research outputs, the results you have at the end of your proposal, of your project, and produce the short-term impact. So, and then we have the long-term impact, and we have the intervention of the end users. So let's see the example, maybe it will be clearer. So for example, here, the research output, what you have at the end of your project is a prototype of low-cost sensor to measure hydrocarbons in water. So then the outcomes need the intervention. Well, the prototype, of course, should be something that has to be validated in the lab and more or less is technology readiness level 4 or 5. After the project, you need to industrially relevant environment to validate and demonstrate the technology. You need commercial design, and you need someone to process the prototype and transform it in something that can be launched on the market. And having a new infrared sensor on the market is what produced the short-term impact, the outcomes, because everybody buy it and buying it and using it, they produce the long-term impact. So reduce the cost of monitoring hydrocarbons in water and the final impact on the society, because the long-term impact, the expected impact is always on society or economy. It's better quality water due to higher accuracy. So here we have to understand that the logic of the European Commission is to start from the end of this graphic. So basically they start from the impact and the outcomes. The European policy asks for better quality of water in the field of hydrocarbons. And this basically means higher accuracy in monitoring hydrocarbons. But also the Commission wants to have economic benefits and Europe being competitive on the market, so the cost can be reduced. So what they ask is a hydrocarbon monitoring system more efficient and cheaper on the market. This is what the Commission wants. It wants a way of measuring hydrocarbons in water to reduce the cost and to have a better quality of water. They don't tell you what to do in order to produce these outcomes. It can be a prototype of low-cost sensors, as it says here. It can be a prototype or any kind of other sensor. It can be the improvement or technology that is already on the market. So this is up to you. So this is the part in which your creativity intervenes. So here we have another example. This is after the project. So we have another example here, and this example is taken from the template, the European Commission template for innovative action proposals. And well, we can go just quickly through the example. So here the things is to have a better system to measure the passengers flow in airports, right? So what the Commission wants is to have a better management of the passenger flow, because this will have a positive impact on society and economy. So the outcomes is that the lead users, which are the airports, adopt advanced forecast system for more efficient passengers flow. But they don't tell you what you have to do in order to have this outcome. It can be, as they say here, algorithm model, it can be anything else. Right, so here what I would like also to stress and to have a look at is also the fact that we have a dissemination and communication under this session. Dissemination is part of the impact. Why? Because basically dissemination is promoting the project results among potential lead users. If you cannot disseminate efficiently the results to the end users, right, you don't have mid-term impact, you don't have outcomes, because they have to process the result of your project. Then you have communication. Communication is entirely different, because communication is more to communicate to the entire society about your project, about what you're doing, while dissemination is just about result and only for the lead users. Lead user can be also researchers. So even if you publish publication, in this case, the lead users are other researchers, and the impact is to produce further knowledge thanks to your result. But if we think about more commercial results, they should be, for example, industries, the lead users, industries. Here we have the example of airports, anyone that can use your results at the end of the project. Okay, so here is just a very simple, just to make understand a little bit better the whole chain. So the input here is flour, the process is to bake a cake, the output is the cake. The outcomes is when the lead users intervene and bring the output, the cake, in the shop, available for everybody, and the impact is the happiness of the children that eat the cake. So this is just to make it a little bit simpler. Okay, so here I try to summarize a little bit all the parts that we have seen until now, and how they are interrelated. So we have the work program where we have the destination that describes the expected impact. Then we have the topic where you have the expected outcomes. So expected impacts is the long-term impacts, expected outcomes is the mid-term impact. And then you have the topic where you have, you have the scope where you have the description of what you have to do in order to reach the expected outcomes and expected impact. So how are these parts interrelated with the project proposal and the execution of the project? So the destination, the expected impact is the long-term impact. As I said, the expected outcomes is the medium-term outcomes, and the scope, the topic, the scope under the topic is the result. And if we see how this is reflected in the template, so the first two parts should be written in the impact section, while the topic scope that deal with results, and we said also methodology, what let's say is your contribution, your innovation, your innovative contribution should be written in the excellent part where you define your objectives, your ambition, and how you go beyond the state of the art. Right, so here just to see a little bit better. So the excellent, as we said, is where you demonstrate your idea is ambitious and goes beyond the state of the art. Your scientific methodology, so it's about results and methodology, interdisciplinarity, gender dimension, open science, etc. The impact is about the outcomes and the expected impacts, of course. And then we have the implementation, which is about the quality of your work plan, resources, and participants. Right, so how to convince the evaluator. So here the trick is to go a little bit up and down through your narrative, creating expectation and then offering a solution. So you start by claiming that there is a big problem, a big challenge, but there are opportunities for a better scenario. So you create a context of empathy. Then you tell about the state of the art and you find the gap. So you find basically what other people have done so far, and especially what they haven't done, because this is up to you to do, of course. So there are no solutions so far, but you have promised solutions. So you offer a solution to the problem. Then again, you cannot do it alone. You need the support of the European Commission through money, etc. So it's a little bit, going up and down. And trying to create expectation. So try to make it interesting, not flat, Right, so convince the evaluator. Okay, so this is just a little bit of a summary. So we said that we have to address all funders' research priorities and aims, so create a perfect match. Also to present a clear, well-structured, concise, simply written and explained proposal. So try to keep it as simple as possible. As someone said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So you have to be able to explain what you want to do to a child. And if you cannot do that, it means that really you didn't understand yourself. And it's also better for the evaluators, apart from the fact that they understand immediately, they don't get bored and they don't spend time understanding what you want to achieve. Evidence are very important. You have to produce facts and figures. So this sentence, I think, is very interesting. And I find it very, very enlightening. In God we trust, all others must bring data. So you have to bring data. They cannot trust you as in God. Provide evaluators with clear information so they can defend your proposal in panel. So, and I think I just want to spend a couple of words about the evaluation process, because it's interesting to understand how it happens. So first of all, evaluators have to evaluate the proposal individually, but then they have to come together and find a consensus. And you should help the evaluators that are convinced about the goodness of your proposal to defend your proposal in front of the others, because sometimes two are convinced, one is not convinced, and if you don't give them solid argument, they might not be able to defend and to reach the consensus. So your proposal should not raise any question or doubt. Don't leave question or doubts open, because it might be hard for the evaluator to defend your proposal. Right, so I would like to end my presentation with a little bit of fun, with a bit of comics. So don't underestimate your potential, because as I say here, researcher might look harmless, but you don't know what they can do once they get together and they get a research grant. And so also this trend, which show the trend of postdoc researchers after the first year. So the first year they want to win the Nobel Prize, and then the fifth year they just hope they have pepperoni pizza in the convention. So don't let your ambition go down. So keep yourself motivating and go for a proposal. Right, so I've reached the end of my presentation, so if there is any question, I would be happy to answer. Okay, so this presentation is about how to identify partners and establish joint project consortia. And to begin with, I would like to go back to my previous presentation. If you remember, we summarized the steps that we need to apply for a call for proposal. Step 1, 0, step 3. So now I'm going to concentrate on step 3, what you need to carry out your research. And basically this refers to partners, if you are the coordinator, or to a consortium if you want to participate as a partner. And the resources you might need, of course, to carry out your research proposals, so personnel, consumables, and all the material you might need. Right, so what do you need, partners or consortium? So when you decide to participate in a call for proposal, of course, the first decision is whether to join a project consortium as a partner or initiate and lead one consortium yourself. And I would like to spend some words about this fundamental decision, because I think there is a general ambiguity and a lot of misconceptions about the potential implication of choosing one way or another. So first of all, being partner or leader depends on what kind of research idea you have in your hands to begin with. Whether you originate the whole research idea yourself, or you have a specific piece of information, a specific technology, and you want to contribute to a bigger project. So it shouldn't be an arbitrary decision based on what is more convenient and what is easier or what is more ambitious. It depends really what kind of idea you have. But of course, there are also advantages and disadvantages participating as a partner or as a coordinator. And I would like to go through all of them very quickly. There are not many. Starting from option B, participating as a partner in a consortium. So typically, this is the option most applicants go after because it's considered to be the easy option, the one that doesn't have much work, you don't need experience. So many researchers are intimidated by the fact that they might not have experience and also by the fact that they don't have, their profile is not excellent, they don't have a good positioning as a researcher. But this is true, of course, but you also have to consider that it's not easy to find a good winning consortium. So we have seen in the previous presentation that you have to find the perfect match between your research idea and a call for proposal. And here is exactly the same. So you have to find the consortium that best suits your idea. For each call that is launched, there are a lot of people getting together to create consortium, of course. And if you are new, let's say in this business, it's not, it's hard, it's not easy to find, to understand which consortium is the best. And you might understand which consortium is the best. You might identify, you know, institutions that you know they are the best in the field, etc. And of course, the point is to get funded. No, to have a good consortium with the best institutions in the field and get funded. But you also have to think about what might happen in the long run. So if you don't know the partners in your consortium, if you never work with them, they might be risky because you don't know how they behave, you don't know what their requests are, and there might be problems in the execution of the project that might lead to the suspension of the project. So it is much better if you know people that you would work with. Of course, this is the ideal world. If it's the first project you join, it's difficult. So I understand you just take the risk. And it's not easy to find a consortium that suits your idea. So a consortium that is already established, possibly they already have a very rigid program, and you have to fit in what they ask you to do. And if you can adapt and change your original idea, it is okay. If it's the first time you want to have experience, is great. But you also have to take into account that you have to remain loyal to your idea. So sometimes it's not worth it. It might be worth it just to gain experience, but in the long run, it's not worth it. So you have to find the consortium that respect your idea, give you space to do what you want to do, and don't ask you to make extreme changes to your proposal, to your idea. So let's go to the other option, being a coordinator. So this option, of course, suffer from a bad reputation. So normally researchers don't want to go for coordinator because the common belief is that it's a complex and difficult task, you don't have experience, etc. And this is not true. This is not true, because if you go to Cordis and you see all the projects that have been funded until now, Framework Program 7, Horizon 2020, and even now, there are a huge variety of different coordinators that got funded. So there are researchers from more institutions, from small departments in small university. There are startups, enterprises. So there is a little bit of a mix. So the coordinator is important, but it's not essential. So it's more important the proposal, of course, and a good combination of partners that join the consortium. So sorry, I didn't finish the last. So being a partner is also contributing to the work to be done. So you have to do something. Okay, so as I said, being a coordinator is something that you have to go for if you are the one that originate the idea. And if you have a clear idea how the whole research should be implemented and structured. So, and being a coordinator gives you the possibility to build up your proposal because you have more power, let's say. You are in charge of crafting and defining the overall project's concept and the research. And you can choose the partners and the resources that you need. So basically, being the coordinator of a proposal, of a consortium, is like being the music director of an orchestra. So they say that the music director should know the piece that every instrument should perform. And this is essential to deliver a good symphony, perfect music, right? And so for a coordinator, it's the same. So it's true that you have a lot of work to do. You don't have to do all the work yourself. There are partners that help you. But you have to know how what the contribution of each partner is, and you have to be able to understand how to put together all the pieces to reach the final result. So another good point for being coordinator is that you have better exposure during the work, before, during, and after the project execution. Being a partner is not, you're not so in the spotlight. Being the coordinator, you are more visible, and this might open up doors in the future. So, as I said, you are not alone. There are, first of all, partners that should help you. And you also have extra resources for coordinating. You have more budget, of course, and you also have the support of your administration. And we will see in a minute, after the downloads, we will see in a minute what are the tasks of a coordinator. We will see that there are a lot of tasks that is for the administration of the institution where the research belongs. So it's not entirely the scientific coordinator. They are not tasks only for him. Right, so what are the disadvantages? It's a large investment of time and resources, that for sure. And as I said, you should have a clear structure of the project. You should know each part. And yeah. So here you can see a little bit the task. Well, this is a summary of the task that should be performed by a coordinator and a partner. They are not all of them, but they are enough to understand what the workload is for coordinators and partners. And if you go through the list, you can see that for researchers, so what is asked to the researcher of a coordinating institution is to coordinate and manage the project implementation, which is a lot, of course, is a lot. But all the other tasks, if you can see, they are administrative, they are financial, they are legal. So you need a good institution that support you. And then you can dedicate all your efforts to the scientific coordination of the consortium and the proposal. So just to summarize a little bit and to understand what you have to take into account at the time you have to decide whether to participate as a partner or as coordinator. So first of all, you have to understand what kind of research idea you have in your hands. As I said, if it is something that you carry out alone, then you can go for individual grant or fellowship. If there's something big, ambitious, is something that you know very well, is the project of your life, then you should look for partners and be the coordinator. If there's something limited, it's just, you know, something that can fit in many different consortia because it's something, I don't know, a little piece of technology that you can contribute to many different projects, then you should go and look for a consortium and be the partner. And also you have to understand what time you have at your disposal, because in the implementation of the project is not a lot of tasks as we have seen, but to putting together the proposal is a lot of work, just to prepare the proposal. And once the proposal is successful, of course, you need the support of your organization. So this is absolutely essential. You also, once you got the money, let's say you got funded, you can also ask some external enterprises to help you with the coordination of the consortium for the administrative, more technical parts. There are also a lot of softwares that can help you with the administration of the financial part, for example. Okay, so if you want to go for the big challenge and be the coordinator of a consortium, how to build a consortium? Well, first of all, you have to read the guidelines, because the guidelines set the eligible criteria. And for example, for Horizon Europe, you have to have at least 3 partners from the 3 different countries, etc. So you have to read what the condition of the call are. You should have a clear idea of what kind of roles and expertise you need from all the different partners to deliver the work, is what I said about the music director. So you have to know the part of the part that each partner should perform. And the best thing is to list what are the core activities of your proposal, and to try to assign this core activity to the core partners. So the core partners basically are the partners that are absolutely essential in order to make the hardcore work, right? So normally there are 4 or 5 partners, right? And the best thing is to try to find these partners in your networks, in people that you know, for the reason that I said before. If you don't know your partners, if you don't know how they work, if you don't know the people that are behind the institution, you might have unpleasant surprise. So at least for the core partner, try to use your networks or networks of other people near you that you can trust, and try to find the people that you really trust. Then once you have the core consortium, you should enlarge it a little bit, because there are other tasks that are not so fundamental, they are not the hard work, but they are necessary anyway. So for this enlarged consortium, you can consider the value chain. As we said, invite current and potential clients and suppliers, the lead users. The lead users must be part of the consortium, and actually should be the partners that should intervene in the writing of the proposal, should be the ones that write the expected impact, because expected outcomes and expected impacts, because they are the one that will produce the expected impact. Then, of course, other things that are very important. You have to check the grant and consider how many partners might participate. So different if you have 5 millions or you have 10 millions. And well, consider the number of countries and how many countrymen you invite. And so this is a little bit, you know, the formula that they recommend you to apply to consortium or to proposal. Try to have good geographical coverage, try to invite small medium enterprises, and there are important things, of course they are important, but always if they fit into the big structure, the big picture. So don't do it just to have it, just to show that you have done your homework. So as I said, you should start to build up your consortium from a core, following the core requirement, the topic, what the topic said. And this should be made by partners that are complementary. So don't invite more than one partner that can do the same job. So do not repeat, just try to have one partner for each task, because sometimes, you know, it's not clear what a partner does, the role of the partner. So you have to be clear about the role of the partner and not to duplicate partners without any reason. Then once you have, well, interdisciplinary is very important, and this is important especially in the recent year, especially in Horizon Europe. Is very important because they want to be transversal. So they want to have the biggest impact possible. And of course, you need different expertise to do that. Once you have the core, you have to think about the basic. So what are, of course, necessary, but they just have a kind of marginal role. They don't intervene in the whole duration of the project. So the lead users, for example, technology provider, developer, and these are important for the technological competence because these are the ones that will make clear what will happen to your results when the project is over, which is what interests the European Commission. And then once you have this core and basic, that you can complete your consortium with the key horizontal tasks. You can have end users, for example, opinion leaders, so for example, citizens, associations, gender representative, etc. And this should be representative of the society. So in Horizon Europe now, already at the end of Horizon 2020, but even more in Horizon Europe, is very important to engage with the whole society. This is something that you must do. And you can do it with communication. But if you have partners in your proposal, sometimes in your consortium, sometimes it's better, and sometimes it's even requested to have this kind of partners. So especially for these two kind of partner, the basic and the complete, sometimes you have to read the small notes. So it's not clear what kind of partners you need to complete your consortium. But if you read through the topic, sometimes they say, like here, end user are expected to play a major role, or you should closely collaborate with technology provider. So there are small notes that make you realize that collaboration maybe it's more solid if they become partner of your proposal, of your consortium. So, and if you want to fit into a consortium, so here is a little bit to, as I said, it's much better if you know a consortium from your networks, but there are a lot of online tools, excuse me, online tools for partner or consortium search, the participant portal, or you can contact your national contact point also. Normally they have information about a consortium that they are forming for some calls, and they can give you some advice, some address. Enterprise Europe also have engine tool for search for partner, and there are many websites that can offer this kind of search for partner, for consortium or for partners. Also going to existing ongoing projects or projects that have just finished. If you go to Cordis, you have a database with all the projects that have been funded throughout all the framework programs. And you might find, if you, of course, search based on your topic, you might find coordinator or partners that have participated in a project that is similar to the one that you want to build up. And these might be good partners because they already have experience of working in a European project. And this is for partners search, but also for consortium. If you can contact the coordinator, he might think about presenting another project in the same field. So you might be a good idea. But as I said, the best things for me and in my experience for what I've seen is to be a project enthusiast. So to mingle with people at events and pitch your idea anytime that you can, because this will make you closer to winning consortium. So do like this guy, talk about anyone, not about anything, of course, about your proposal, your idea, but try to meet the people you will work with in the future. It's 3 or 5 years projects, so it's much better if you know the people you work with. So, and of course, you have to define your resources. So I don't want to spend much time about building a budget, because the best thing to do is to go to professionals. So to go to the office, the European office in your university, and ask the experts there to help you with the budget, because it's very complicated. There are many things you have to take into account. It will be absolutely a waste of time to tell you what you have to do is not your job. So your job is the science. So get the help of someone that knows what it does. But just to go a little bit through the phases, especially if you are in a consortium, and if you are the coordinator of a consortium. So first of all, you have to define the total cost of your consortium and be sure that it doesn't go, it doesn't go beyond the maximum allowed by the European Commission, which sometimes is not even something that you have to do. So because they say the indicative budget. So if you go a little bit beyond, if it's just justified, it can be accepted. But anyway, so just to have an idea, define the total cost. Then you have to distribute the task to your partners. So depending on what the partners do, you have to distribute the budget consequently. Prepare the work packages breakdown structure, person month, work packages. So all this might sound a little bit new. That's why I'm telling you, better if you go to the experts. You have to define how much personnel you need, person month, the cost, the personnel, the cost of the other cost, I mean, consumables, travel, etc. Then, of course, the last 2 steps is to circulate the budget to the partners and see if the partners agree, or they might need something more, something less. Something less is very rare, that they say. And then you negotiate and finalize your budget. So, and this which brings me to the end of my presentation, which has been a little bit shorter than the first one. And well, if you have any question.
Okay, dear colleagues online and offline in the room, it's good to see you all in this number, and it's a pleasure for me to continue this very informative and fruitful workshop on partner search and identifying the right calls. I think we're on the right topics that we all need to know to start somehow this story and develop our projects. So my colleague Laura Bertolini has already touched upon some things, but my presentation is actually a bit more on the practical side and how to use the practical tools that the European Commission has put forward for us. And what's more important is the fact that they're all free of charge. that you don't need any special means to get there. They are open, as the policy of the entire Horizon Europe is open access for everyone. So the resources are there, and hopefully we can find enough time to use all of them, because this is time consuming. Having said that, I'm going to move to the next slide. And please, if you just to touch the screen, if you have any questions, my colleagues are following online. You can try following the presentation with me and actually go to the very same places that I will visit during the presentation, because I want to lead you through some practical places and do very much hands-on work today, so that you can find your way better next time when you do it yourself. So the recommendation for everyone is to, when the presentations are shared, you go through the slides, you repeat the slides, you do the actions that I will be doing now, and then you have actually practical knowledge in your hands. Okay. The most important place that we have known by now is the funding and tender portal of the European Commission. And it's the one-stop shop, as we can call it. So anything and everything related to Horizon Europe is there. From partner search that we are on right now, through identifying the calls in the call base, over to project results, over to the support that you can get, as you can see here in the tabs. So this is the place where we'll be searching for calls. This is the place where we'll learn how to participate and find partners. This is the place where we go for project results. This is a place where you can actually register to become an expert evaluator in Horizon Europe, which is an opportunity that I would recommend to everybody. You will go through a training in the first place, and then, even more importantly, once you're an expert, you'll have huge access to a lot of projects that you will evaluate. You will see what the hot topics are. You will develop your own network. So really a very warm recommendation for everyone is to try and register to become an expert evaluator. And in the support tab, you will find absolutely everyone who can help you with the process. There will be an NCP network there, so national contact points. There will be an online IT support that you can turn to if you have problems while registering for the project or with online submission. You will have and find all the guidelines and manuals that you would need in this entire procedure of submitting your calls. So it is a great place for a good start, and it is time consuming, but I can warmly recommend it to everyone. So what we will do right now is go through the practical tools where you can find the partners, where you can see which networks work for you and identify the desirable partners that can be a valuable part of your consortium. There was a question for Laura in the previous session, how hard it is to find that plug-in for the first time when you don't have the networks. It may be hard, but it may be easy as well. So just go for it. That would be my recommendation. One place that I would recommend to you is to go and visit the Funding and Tender Portal search tool. It's a tab how to participate, and go to a participant register or partner search. These are the screenshots, give you the guidelines, but what I will do is actually visit the place, because all the links are active, and once you view the presentation in full view, you will get access to the actual place. So I'm going to hit the link from the presentation, and we're going to get forward to the place where I will do the practical thing. So this is how to participate. It's participant register and partner search tab. It's either or. You will get access to the very same amount of information and the quality of information. So this is the place where we land. So we can search organizations and persons, or we can just clear the filter either or. But I will keep the same. I will keep both of them because sometimes you will need a particular person from an institution who is already registered on this tool and learn more about the projects, about the information that they put about themselves. So I'm going to do it very easily with our own institution, which is the University of Novi Sad Faculty of Sciences. This is our full name. It's important that you know the full name of the institution that you're looking for, preferably that you know their full name in English, the correct one. But even if you make a mistake, there will be more hits wherever the word is recognized. So let's do a practical example. Okay, this is us. You can follow me. The people who are in front of the computers can follow what I'm doing right now, right here. So let's do the search. I didn't give any other filter. I just gave the name of the institution. And look, here we are. We are the first hit. And you see, when I said you cannot really make a mistake, even if you don't have the right name, there will be the word University of Novi Sad everywhere that it's mentioned. So you have the hit University of Novi Sad Faculty of Technical Sciences, Faculty of Technology, and so on and so forth. Let's just see if there is a person here, maybe.
So it's better to look person and organization.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that because sometimes through a person, you can see exactly the projects that they have been involved in and even expand this search. Okay, so here we are. The first type of information, which is very important for you if you're looking for a partner in a consortium, is which type of organization it is. So we're higher secondary education establishments. This means that we are for non-for-profit, okay? Which gives you a different set of information about the participation in the call, which means that we will be fully funded, right? With 100% reimbursement by the European Commission. You find the location and you find how many projects we have implemented or are ongoing at this very moment. And one more piece of information is how many partner search announcements we have published so far. In the case of Faculty of Sciences, we did it twice, and I will take you to the place where you can see which ones. So,
May I shortly interrupt you?
Yes.
How it is possible that the Faculty of Technical
Yes,
Sciences
I wanted
doesn't
to ask
have
you to.
any logged project? Is it because they run Horizon Europe over university?
University, I probably think.
Well, this may be due to one fact. Faculty of Technical Sciences may not be, this may not be their right name in English language. Actually, if I remember well, their name with registered PIC number is actually in Serbian, Fakultet tehničkih nauka. So one thing that you may know already, or if not now, I will tell you, everybody can register the institution in the portal, but there is only one legal entity appointed representative who actually takes care of the institutional data, takes care that what appears beyond the PIC number is the right information, and there can be only one registration, which is validated, okay? That makes the difference. Anyone can register. You will have the declared status, but when the commission validates the institution, then you know that the PIC number you have is the right one and that you can compete and become a beneficiary in the projects.
One more question.
Yes.
Regarding technical sciences, but also us, is it possible or recommendable to register only one department?
No, it's not possible because Faculty of Sciences is a unique legal entity. And even though we have 5 departments, departments are not legal entities in their own right and cannot compete. You have the option to specify which department it is, which we do normally when we register for projects. But there's only one PIC number, so it's participant identification code number, unique to this institution, validated. I am the leader for the institution, so I take care of the institutional data. They're correct and valid all the time. So this person, this leader, is a channel of communication between the European Commission and the institutional data and legal framework. Okay, so I will now click University of Novi Sad Faculty on Sciences, and voila, this is what we get. You get a very comprehensive and thorough data about the institution. In the first place, you learn our PIC number. Okay, so this one is validated and it's absolutely correct. Then you again have the information about the type of organization that we are and how many projects have been funded for this institution, and it's 27. Now, let me just explain what follows here. Then you have a description of the institution, very briefly. You don't go from the day that you were founded. You give a very brief, up-to-date, concrete information related to the partner search that you would like to announce. Secondly, you have the keywords and tags. There are many keywords here because there were 2 partner searches, and we needed to somehow include all of them. But you can be very practical here and make a very focused list of keywords that you want your partners to notice. So if it's this project, Smart Water Twin, there will be circular economy, there will be wastewater, there will be very specific keywords very closely connected to the project. So let's move on and see what's more on the page. Now, there's a great chart pie that you can see here, and it gives a very complete overview of the projects that the Faculty of Sciences competed in and that are ongoing. Now, one thing that you need to know is that this funding and tender portal does not go back beyond FP7. So we start here with Framework Program 7, which was the predecessor of Horizon 2020, and now we moved into Horizon Europe. So we have 3 programming periods, which is 21 years, right? So over these 21 years, we have participated for 27 times, we were beneficiary for 22 times, and coordinator for 5 times. This piece of information can be important for you if you need a coordinator, for example. If you're looking for a partner, then you'll see, okay, this partner is a valuable one. They participated in 22 projects as partners. They were all successfully funded, finished. Okay, this one is a credible partner and we can trust them. Next thing that is available here on the left-hand side is main collaboration partners. And you have a very neat overview of geographical areas where we had our partners in consortia. As you can see, it's mostly Europe. I'm not going to enlarge the map very much, but just to give you, you see where we are. Okay, we are in Europe. There are very few partners like Brazil in different continents. There is USA here, and you can do your own search in the map to see where we are. But most of our partners are definitely in Europe, which is definitely true for us. Next thing that you can find on the left-hand side is project lists. And this is my favorite part. Why? Because every single of these 27 projects is listed here, and you can absolutely click on each and every one, and you will be taken to a new place where hopefully the internet is okay, and we really go there, and we go to one more wonderful database about the projects, because every project first appears on Cordis website, and then projects build their own websites and offer more information. But I will dedicate some time to Cordis base, so I will go back to the presentation right now because we'll revisit the place very soon in the following slides. So I accept cookies, whatever. Let me just go back to the presentation. No. I want to go. Yes. I have two computers in front of myself. Okay. Yeah. And this one, I want to go back, but I can't do that right now.
It's done. There's
Now founding and
black bar.
tenders.
There's no, there's
There's only one.
PPT is right down. Yeah,
Right.
here. Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
on a Zoom.
No, I want to go back to the presentation. No, to the previous tab on the internet.
I think you're running the first one, up.
Yeah.
To that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, thank you. So you click on the project and you get more information about the project itself, about the abstract, about the call, about the funding, about the partners, about the keywords, other related calls, about the budget of each and every one of the partners. And there you go. You can find a lot about credible partners that you would like to invite in your project or you would like to contact. Why? Because there's an option here, contact projects. And the person that will respond to this is exactly the legal entity appointed representative that I mentioned before. So you will not contact the coordinator of the project, neither any one of the partners. You will actually contact the legal entity appointed representative, who is this key person and key communication channel. So you have the opportunity to find about every single project, all of the 27 of them that we did so far or are ongoing. And another thing that you will find here is partner search announcements. This is where Faculty of Sciences offered their expertise. So you can offer either to be a project coordinator or be a project partner. And this is where we wanted to be included. It was a long time ago, it was the 7th of July, and we wanted to be involved in Horizon infrastructure project, research infrastructures, and there was one more, even way beyond, in 2018, where we offered expertise. We actually wanted to be included in project consortia, and this is how we did it through this channel. So I really think that this is a wonderful database that gives you a lot of information on the partner. And not only that, it extends you to our partners and to their networks. And basically, the search can be unlimited. If you have enough time, you can spend hours and hours just browsing through the partners and pieces of information. Okay, I'll go back to the presentation.
Can I ask one question? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I was wondering how it's functioning on our faculty if we want to put ourselves on that.
Yeah,
we put on the portal.
It's coming in the following slides.
Okay,
Right, yeah.
because I was wondering if we want to offer our expertise to
Yeah,
if we can be contacted.
yeah, it's coming.
Okay,
It's
great.
coming. No worries, yeah. Okay. The slides show you exactly the same thing that I've led you through online, because it was more important for me to show you the procedure and how you get there. But the slides definitely are showing the very same thing. And I repeat that the information is really very complete and that you can do a lot. There is another thing where you can do your partner search announcements. And if you remember the topic page, we all were there when you submitted the project. This is where the magic happens. When you find the call identified, it becomes your, again, one-stop shop for everything. This is where the documentation is. This is where the destination is. This is where the call description is. And this is the place where you can find partner search announcements. For example, there's a one for hop-on facility that we can visit just to show it to you. And there you go. When we go for partner search announcements, 58 entities validated and registered on funding and tender portal either offer expertise or show interest into accepting some. I purposefully did hop-on facility because it's a very useful call for all of us. And I'm sure you have heard about it. It's not a topic of today, but we can do it some other time. But when you go and see, you will find all sorts of information. It can be natural persons looking for their place in the consortium, because everybody in Horizon Europe can participate, from entities, legal entities, NGOs, public institutions, natural persons, industry, SMEs, small and medium enterprises. So it's a very, very open and welcoming program. Or it can be consulting entity, or again, a person. And then you read actually more about what they offer, where they want to be included. And it's all about one call, because it's about hop-on facility. So it narrows you the scope, right? So you're not looking like somebody in the universe. You're looking somebody that is offering expertise for a very concrete call. And that's brilliant about this online tool. Okay, let's go back. Next online search tool. Now about this description that I just mentioned a couple of slides ago, is that you sit down, that you brainstorm, make a very brief, very concrete description, do it spot on, specify what you need or what you're offering, and squeeze it into 500 words, because there is no more space. If you remember the slide where there was a description about the Faculty of Sciences, it was a long time ago. It can be tweaked right now and changed according to the call if we were looking for partners, but this should give you some spotlight to stand from the crowds, right? So give a very specific, very straightforward, and very interesting information about what you can offer, because otherwise nobody will notice you, right? So
sorry, is it only one description per institution, or you can have more axes?
We can have more,
okay.
Because what we will do here is actually adapt it to the call that we're giving expertise or looking for.
Exactly. You are offering yourself or group.
Yes, this is for a very specific call. Now, when you contact the organization or the person will get a very straightforward, direct email. But when you contact the organization, remember when we saw the Faculty of Sciences, there was contact organization. This is what the leader receives. So I'm the one, this is my screenshot from my computer, where on 28th of March this year, I was approached by the province of Teramo from Italy that is offering to be a partner in a project related to landscape, preservation of primary resources, and so on and so forth. In the end, I was the one to reply to this Mr. Vanni, and I told him, okay, I got your email, and I forwarded the email to the concrete person in the Department of Biology and Ecology. So this is one of the tools, this is one of the ways that you can approach somebody from the institution, but not directly, it has to go through the leader. So.
Sorry.
Yeah.
One more question. How you know who is the person on the department to forward the email?
I have been here long enough to recognize.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I cannot recognize completely, I will turn to our Vice Dean for Research
Okay.
and international collaboration, or somebody from the department where I have a hint that the person may be, so they can give me clearer
Because their
guidelines.
project, how we call that person from Extreme Clean Twin that we research coordinator or something on the department. I thought
yeah.
you
That, exactly. A departmental research coordinator would also be my primary contact point, not the Vice Dean. If I cannot find my way through a very specific information, if it's really something like close discipline related, then I have no idea who would be the right person. Okay, so I don't know if something will happen from here, but it was the first step, maybe the last one, may not be the last one. Yeah. Okay. Next thing that I want to turn your attention to is, again, funding and tender portal opportunities. As you can see, we are always in the same place, but especially the tab with projects and results. And there's a phenomenal database, which is called Horizon Dashboard. And when you go to the dashboard, which I will do right now, I will lead you to the place online. You have limitless opportunities to find out who your partners are, how many projects they had, what were the pillars in Horizon Europe or Horizon 2020, where they were most successful, how much money they attracted. So at the same time, you have the financial portfolio of your partner, and basically you get a very personal partner ID. It's like their personal ID that gives you absolutely all knowledge about their participation in the project. What else you can do? You can go to country profiles, which I can demonstrate as well. And if you need data about Serbia, for example, you can go and find everything and anything about Serbian participation in the previous framework programs and currently in Horizon Europe. Key figures, participation in programs, SME performance, so small and medium enterprise performance, collaboration with other countries, research and development landscape, and glossary. For example, if we go for key figures, you can select the program. I'm going to go for, let's say, Horizon Europe. This is just too big. Let me just get out from here. So, program. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's just expanding it. I don't want to do that.
Just to click OK on.
Yeah, right.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
But I want to go back. Okay, never mind. Let's not waste time on that. You select the program. You select the country. Let's say Serbia. Let's see if it works. Okay. We select it.
You must click it.
You must click on.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have all sorts of very interesting data. So where we are, which region we are, which is sometimes important for participation in instrument of pre-accession program. Our colleagues quite often don't know which NAT region we are. You get the list of top organizations that attracted the most funding throughout the programs. This gives you access to the people and institutions, and you can just, when you recognize the one that is of interest to you, you can just go and find out more. You have participation per program, for example. I don't know why we don't have ERC principal investigators. because our principal investigators did not base their projects here. We have 23, for example, participation in MSCA, so Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions. If you are looking for partners in Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, this is the place where you will click and find out about the institutions that participated in this one. And so on and so forth. So you definitely have a lot of very concrete and very useful information that you can browse and spend a lot of time looking for a deeper level of information that you're interested in.
Just a question, when I click projects and results, I don't have that Horizon dashboard.
Because you're not logged in, probably. I wanted to ask you that, if you're logged in the portal.
Yeah, I clicked, there was an active link on my presentation and I went there, right? Yeah, even if you forget anything, you can just browse by typing in Horizon Europe dashboard, and you will be in the right place. Yeah, and from there you can just filter your search, and you can get all of these wonderful information, right? That just lead you deeper and deeper into the partner profile. I went to the country profile, right? But you can go and search by institution. So wonderful place to explore for partnerships. Okay, and there is also one great place, which is the Horizon Europe NCP portal. National contact points are valuable characters in this entire loop within Horizon Europe. Why? Because each and every country participating in the program has one, and not only that one, they have it for each and every component of the program. As you know, I am the national contact point for European Research Council and Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, but colleagues from the ministry, and there are several of us outsourced outside the ministry, are distributed throughout the components of the program. Why am I saying this? Because not only national contact points can give you the right information about the call, the documentation, very often they can help you with your idea, they can help you with specifying if you're in the right place, if you're up to the work that you're about to do, and so on and so forth. So do not hesitate. But exactly this profile, I want to click the link, and look, there are ample opportunities for you to find out about NCPs in partner countries, to go through wonderful database of presentations given by the European Commissions, to find the recordings of useful presentation, because if you remember European Research and Innovation Days, you can all find them there. If not on the exact European Commission's portal, they will be stored here. And many more tutorials, either given by the NCP themselves, or given by the European Commission and project officers. So you can find brilliant database of resources and tutorials that you can use to your benefit. Okay, it again takes a lot of time, but it's very useful, and I highly recommend it. Let me just turn your attention to this one. Annotated sample for IA and RIA. So innovation actions and research and innovation actions. What does it mean? It means that from here, you will have access to a template of your project, but with annotations. So telling you exactly what to write in this section, giving you hints and guidelines, and isn't it brilliant? It's like guiding you through a very specific presentation where you may not know what to write exactly, but this is what you will find in one of these documents or digital tools. So it is an NCP portal, but it's open to everyone, and there are many useful resources for the entire research and innovation community worldwide. So my full recommendation, and a warm one, goes to you to check out this website. So my advice is to find your relevant NCP and always just give them heads up that you're doing the project. Once we have our colleagues on the map, we will keep sending the useful information. Why? Because NCPs go to Brussels, sit in the meetings, have access to information, can ask their NCP colleagues if they don't know the answer. So the network is just spreading and it's limitless. So every question will be answered either by your country NCP. If not that one, there will be somebody from the entire network that will know the answer to the question. For people who are in ICT and looking for partners, I would warmly recommend the Idealist. I'll just guide you through the website. But first, let me just say that this is about asking for partners in the ICT sector, right? And it is a intermediary, so you will not be able to contact them directly. You will contact the ICT NCPs, and you will have to fill in the collaboration form, which is a very specific Word document, asking for you to specify what kind of information you're asking for, what expertise you're offering, which call you want to participate in, and so on and so forth, all right? So it's a great step to find the connection with partners that you need, but in this very specific ICT discipline. Next on my list is, you cannot see it from here, but it's Enterprise Europe Network Partnering Opportunities. And I will go and visit the place shortly. But let me just tell you that this is the place for everyone who wants to find partners in industry, so non-academic sector. As you know, we are strongly pushed towards connecting outside academia and actually connecting to the sector of industry and small and medium enterprises, companies, etc. So let's synergize the funding and let's do the transfer of technologies from academia, where it starts, to the industry where it's proven and applied. So this is a place for everyone who wants to find partners in industry, small and medium enterprises. Quite often, we're very specifically asked to have partners from industry in our calls. So this is the spot, okay? And what's even better, there's a local contact point for Serbia, because Serbia is a part of Enterprise Europe Network. We have a contact point, and I will just briefly go there to visit the place. Just to let you know that one of our contacts sits in Novi Sad, and that's great. It's Belgrade and Novi Sad. As you can see, non-EU countries which are associated to the network are here. And if you go to Serbia, you will see that Vojvodina ICT cluster is one of closest. Poslovni inkubator. Poslovni inkubator. Vojvodina ICT cluster was before. Right, okay, but whatever. So it's the person that you will contact, that you will send your profile to, that will distribute the profile and help you make your profile fit for the purpose. So make it immaculate, basically. Focus the information, get rid of the unnecessary information, and just make it as good as possible to fit the occasion. So, okay. So SME base. One wonderful thing that also can be found on Enterprise Europe Network is events calendar. Why this is important? Because it gives you overview of so-called brokerage events. Brokerage events are events that you register for, that you do on purpose to find exactly the right partners for your projects. I quite often say it's like speed dating, okay? Because you register in advance, you pick your company, right? And you have 15 to 20 minutes to talk with previously exchanged profiles, to talk and see if your partner fits. If you can think of an idea to expand or have a very concrete project proposal to go for, this is the perfect place and perfect means to do it for 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour, depending on the rules of the brokerage event. So just so you know that brokerage events happen to be statistically proven the most valuable and the most effective means to find partners. And when I say it pays off, it pays off for you to go and pay for, let's say, a Brussels brokerage event, because it's going to be a hotel and an airfare, and you will be in the right place looking for right persons and right companies. So it's my full recommendation. If there is money enough going around on the project that is ongoing, and you can squeeze in this into a pocket of going for brokerage events, do it. That would be my recommendation. I know that Smart Water Twin can look for partners outside academia and that they're needed. So this may be one of the means to go outside Serbia, to go pan-European search for partners. Why not?
Do you know somebody from the Faculty of Sciences who actually found the match on this brokerage event? Maybe somebody.
Maybe somebody, yes, but I think that Miroslav actually went to a brokerage event, our colleague from Department of Geography, Tourism, Hotel Management, that he went to one of the brokerage events, but it wasn't for Horizon Europe, it was for Erasmus+. Yeah, and there was a project as a follow-up, so it does work. It does work. So I just gave you an overview. July is a very slow month, so there's nothing much going on. But you can browse through months, you can search for past, future events, and you can see what's actually going on. You see Circular Economy Online Matchmaking Week. That would be a good opportunity for you, for example, to go and visit the partners. Okay. And national contact points I have already mentioned, but I will just add one more thing here. Every national contact point network has its own projects. Most of us have our own projects. So project led and implemented within the network. It happens so with Mary Skłodowska-Curie network of national contact points. This is hugely important because not only can they help you with finding partners and place your profile into a wider network, they can also help you with frequently asked questions. There's a wonderful blog put by the national contact points. You can find answers to many questions. You don't need to bang your head and not know what to do, because everything can be found here. And look at this section, post new EOI. So I have the opportunity to just place your expression of interest on this website. If, for example, Faculty of Sciences wants to be a host institution for a MSCA fellow, we can do it via this tool and via the national contact point. So it just works. It's brilliant. It's easy. It's at hand, and it doesn't cost. It's free of charge as well. So I advise all of you online and offline just to see what's going on and what is behind these wonderful opportunities and links that I shared. And now I will stop here on Cordis projects and results. If you remember, when I went to the database of the projects related to Faculty of Sciences, it redirected me to Cordis database. And it's just brilliantly comprehensive, and I will click to visit the Cordis database and just show you what we can find there. Search project and results, and I will just use, let's say, project acronym because I know many of them, and I will just use the one that we are implementing right now. It's the twinning project, the first one that we got as coordinators, and it's extreme clean twin. Okay, let's see what we get. You'll get, first, all the results related to the project. Brilliant. Reports, everything that is publicly shared and opened, which is the majority of deliverables in the project, except those that are restricted or just for the eyes of the European Commission. You see? Okay, there we go. The first hit is exactly the project that I was looking for through the acronym. You can do it by project ID. What does it mean? It means the number of grant agreements that is signed. So there are many ways to go and browse, but you can filter as you wish. You click on the project, and here we are. Oops, no. Let's not go that far. The first information that you get is project description, and I say, I'm sorry, it's just running away like a mouse. Yeah, abstracts. Some people have trouble writing abstracts. They cannot squeeze in their thoughts into a couple of sentences and restrict to only 2,000 characters, spaces included. It's not easy. When you read 20 of these abstracts, which are all validated, which are all financed, and you know that they went through evaluation, they may give you some guidelines how to do it. They may give you the right measure of words, sentences, stresses, what to emphasize, how to attract the attention of the evaluator. Because exactly the abstract will be the first to read, exactly the hook for the evaluator. So it needs to be well written, it needs to be attractive, and this may give you some idea on how to do it. What's next that we find? This is kind of a little ID card. So the grant agreement number, start and the end, we're ending soon. Funding and the twinning of research institutions, you have the total cost, and the total EU contribution, and you have the name of the coordinator, which is us, right? And on the left-hand side, you have more information. Of course, you can click here and see the project objective. And again, a guideline for us who may have trouble in writing the project objectives or articulating them well. You have the fields of science. Natural sciences, earth and related, so those keywords that are important for us. And you have the program, you have the exact topic, and if you remember Laura's presentation, there was a call is the hub. Under the call, there are topics. What we actually apply for, we apply for a topic, right? This is the specific thematic call for us. And you know exactly which one this is. You can see other projects for this call, so you can extend and expand your database. You will see the partners here in the map, and even more about each and every one here. So you will know exactly who the coordinating entities, you will know exactly how much money we received. You can contact the organization, you can go to the websites, you can see our Horizon Collaboration Network. We will pretty much go around in circles with the information. We will go back and forth through Cordis or some funding and tender to dashboard. So it's all in one place. They just redirect you to the exact place that you need. And of course, you can go and see the partners. So if we expand this, you will find out that this man, Manfred Mudelze, is actually a small and medium enterprise. So it's one-man music band that is a welcomed partner in our project. So you just deep you dive deeper into the database and find out about more. You can freely contact them through the Lear and get very specific information that you wish. So this is why I really love Cordis database. You can extract it as a PDF and have brief information. And basically, it's never-ending story. You can just browse and browse deeper and deeper. Oops, no. And let's not forget one of the most useful tools for starters. Whenever a colleague asks me, I have no network. I don't know where to start. This is where I turn them to, and it's coast actions. Coast actions are not research projects. They are exclusively networking and coordinating actions, right? So it's all about networking. You can join the ongoing coast actions very easily. It really works. I can give you a very encouraging example from the Faculty of Sciences, where a colleague from the Department of Physics and I sat down and wrote straightforwardly to the coast action coordinator. And we said, we think we can contribute to your action. How? By doing this, this, and this. In 15 minutes, the email got back saying yes. What we did then is doing the paperwork, because every country participating in the coast actions and has a national coast coordinator. You have the coast action, so you know how it works. And then you need to contact this person that sits at the Institute of Physics, receive the papers, he nominates you, and there you go. You are in a coast action. What do you get by getting there? You don't do the research, but you go for so-called short-term scientific missions and spend up to 30 days or less in a partner institution, developing your network, developing your work, basically doing research, right? But it's meant to be the very first step to start your networks and to build them on into project. Hopefully, coast actions turn into research and innovation actions and innovation actions later on. That's the idea with code. They're of course part of the Horizon Europe program. It's integral part. It's just a component. And since I have done a lot more working than I was talking than I was supposed to, there are Joker slides that I will share. I will not talk them through right now, but I call them Joker slides to help you build your profile, to give you that first, to produce one pager about you, who you are, what you want to do, what is your role in the project, which topic you would like to apply for, and some other useful piece of information, what to do and how to articulate your profile. So go through them, and of course, I'm at your disposal anytime to do it, sit down with you, make that profile, put it out there, and share it with the stakeholders that we're interested in, and actually announce it on Public Search Profile, because the person who does it is LEAR, right? Legal entity appointed representative. You cannot do it yourself. You have to do it through LEAR, and it's really half an hour work, right? And with this, I also shared some good profiles and some bad profiles. This is not a very good example because this is a know-it-all person. She's absolutely omnipotent. She can do anything. She didn't specify which project she does. She's into fisheries and management methodologies, into projects. She can do anything, right?
It looks like that.
It looks like and she's happy about it, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but an example to stick with is this one actually, by Nick Timmons, where he scrutinized his partner search and he said, I can do this, and this, and I'm interested for this call, for this topic, and this is where I am. So reach out if I'm the right person for you, if we make a good match. And yeah, with this, I thank you for your attention, to both colleagues in the room and colleagues online. and I'm opening the floor to your questions. So please feel free to ask questions or pass comments or anything. Just reflect on what you heard, not only in this presentation, but maybe throughout the day.